say, just quickly, to our 26 subscribers that we have following us, please be patient with us. We're trying our best here. I want to add in, everyone, please subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, X, all the above. We really appreciate your support to all our 26 subscribers, but it's most of us family, family and friends. So trust the process. We'll kick it off. First game, it was West Ham and Chelsea. Are we surprised with the result? In my opinion, no. 5-1. With that Paqueta goal coming through, obviously Paqueta he loves a bit of a screamer or two. I think it was like 25, 30 yards out. Aside from that, they didn't really show much promise at the back, front, or middle. Chelsea just absolutely came in with an onslaught. Not that Chelsea were showing anything of note or warrant. It's just West Ham in itself. I think they're just very poor. Even with going by the goals that Chelsea scored, nothing too flashy or special. They just completely overwhelmed them. I think starting from the back and to the front of the team, like you're looking at the worst keeper in the comp. I haven't seen a worse performance than Hermansen. 2 weeks in a row. He's been absolutely shocking. He was the cause of a couple of their goals and mishaps. Just very toothless at the back. There's nothing there. They're probably the worst team in the comp at the moment, in my opinion. What do you reckon, Rick?
Yeah, look, you're right. Actually, I watched most of the game. Chelsea played pretty well post that screamer from Paqueta. That Estavio kid, he looks really good. He looks kind of electric. He's a bit of a trickster. He's got a lot of tricks in his bag. I like him a lot. Having said that, also João Pedro, Neto, both of them. I think they played well. Yeah. And even Caicedo, he looks like he had a solid game. But in general, West Ham looks like they took the lead, maybe took their foot off the gas, which is weird considering it's game 2. But Potter's got he's got a big job on his hands to turn them around. They lost this morning in the EPL Cup to Wolves. Then you got Jared Bowen going over to the sideline, trying to calm down supporters and justify the way things are, which probably a big no-no given the way they're playing. So not good in West Ham land at the moment. Not good at all.
No, not at all. And the goals they scored, it was like they just walked straight through the middle.
Yeah,
I think Enzo had a couple of cracks at goal as well, and he's not the type to score either. So
he has his moments. He has his moments.
But he's obviously not one to be known for that. That keeper is absolutely. I haven't seen anything worse than that. Leicester, the Scandinavian bloke, but. Yeah. Man, he can't hold the ball. Nothing. He's probably their biggest problem at the moment, aside from the rest of the team. Even Paqueta, how much can Paqueta do? I don't think he's anything like. I wouldn't say he's some sort of talisman. He can pop up a goal or two, but he's not going to change the team around. No. They need to change that whole spine. Todibo, he gave one nice pass back into the middle, but what's he doing playing that far up? You know what I mean? He should be a centre back. So
I think they just started for options. I don't know. Like they got him, they got Max Kilman, they lost Alvarez, a decent piece for him in the middle. Up front,
Fulkrug.
Fulkrug by himself. They lost Kudos, so but Jared Bowen sort of carrying the load there. I think they played. Did they play James Ward-Prowse? I haven't seen the lineup.
Yeah, he did. He started. Yeah.
So Ward-Prowse, Paqueta, not the fastest midfielder dynamic. One's a set piece specialist. The other one is more of a holding mid.
You got Suchek and Ward-Prowse there. It's a slow team, and Paqueta as well. That's a very slow midfield. Even their back line, dude, Kilman and what's his name, Aguerd. Like he's like not even that. There's nothing special. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you've got Wan-Bissaka and Juve on the wing. They're not defenders themselves. They love coming forward. So who's defending in that team? I'm expecting for them to get smashed 3-0, 3+ goals every week now. We're going by what's happening. So, on to the next game. Yeah. What was the second game? It was Tottenham and City. Yeah. Tottenham, I called it last week. They will give them a tough game.
We didn't call the win, but that's for sure.
We didn't call the win, but that's just playing safe. But I did say Tottenham. Look, with Frank now, that team's got a lot more structure. The Kudus and Richarlison. I was going to touch base on Brendan in a sec, but Kudus and Richarlison cause them a lot of problems with their press. Yeah. That back line, the Man City's back line is so leaky with Trafford. Trafford can't play under pressure. Their first or second goal, I can't remember which one it was, when Paulino scored. I think it was the second goal. Palhinha, it was a mistake. Trafford just can't play under pressure, and it's even worse that Donnarumma signing there now. So what's going to happen with him? He's played one pathetic game against Tottenham, and then now he might be turfed to the side. So bit of a waste there. And their whole back line's leaky, man. Like Brennan Johnson, he looked like a superstar out there. Aside from the fact that he does not like running and his work rate is terrible, there's a couple of balls there where his hands on his hips, but even then, like he still played well. It looked like he played well.
Yeah.
Their midfield and their back line, Man City just looks so shaky. There's nothing there for me to say. Aside from the first game they played this year, they've just been, that back line has not showed any or warranted any sort of like, we're going to be a top contender, top 1 or top 2 in the comp. So,
well, he hasn't refreshed in that back line at all besides the left back, what is he? Right back, sorry.
Ryan,
Ori.
Yeah.
Besides him, they haven't refreshed that back line for quite some time. Trafford, I think it's a bit harsh. I think he's a good keeper because at Burnley, I think he recorded the lowest goals conceded in the championship history, or one of the, if not close.
Yeah.
There is a keeper in there. He's big. Newcastle was linked to him. I thought that was a good purchase at the time. Just a bit expensive, hedging towards 30 or 40 mil. He's a Man City junior. Give him time. He's very young for a keeper. So in keeper years, he's a baby. Donnarumma, I don't know why they need him and Donnarumma. It's a bit, I don't know if it cancels each other out. Even though Donnarumma is a top keeper, with his feet, he's a bit suspect. But in terms of shot stopping, he's way up there with some of the best.
100%.
So I'm not sure what they're going to do with Trafford. Maybe one plays Europe, one plays local. Don't know. But there's plenty of games for him.
Yeah.
I don't think keepers. I know they're trying to get rid of Edison as well. It looks like he's on his way to Turkey somewhere, Galatasaray maybe, which is fine. Yeah, they got to replace him. I just don't know if they need 2 keepers of that quality side by side. But again, I don't know what Pep's idea is. He might be playing 2 keepers in goal. I don't know the way he's going.
Yeah.
Something revolutionary.
I know. And also, another thing as well, this game also showed Silva's age, Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
He lost the ball 3 or 4 times just by, he can't move anymore. He's slow. Kudus just ran around him. It was so easy. That's another issue. He got subbed off like early on, like the 52nd minute. What's his name? Cherky came on. And then earlier in the game, Nathan Aki came on for... what's his name? Out Nuri as well. Yeah. So they had a couple of subs there. Once Rodri came on, so he actually played. He came on, I think, like the 80th or 70th minute. Nico Gonzalez. He came on. They looked a lot better. Yeah. And then Foden came on around the same time too. Foden came on for Oscar Bob, I believe. Another player that's why is Oscar Bob playing? Obviously because they're a bit thin there on the right. So Foden came on. Foden and Rodri sort of composed the team and they had a lot more chances. They looked a lot better the last 15, 20 minutes or so. So for their sake, they want those 2 guys healthy. They're the 2 main guys aside from Haaland, right?
I just think Pep's, not that Pep's time's coming to an end, which he's indicated he has because he reckons he's got a couple of years. I think it's his style of play has seen better years. I think there's a lot of substance and evidence there that a lot of teams have caught up in terms of style of play, and even sort of revolutionized it further. But again, even from a transfer perspective, they don't hit as much as they used to. Before they were quite precise with their transfers. This time it seems a bit hit and miss in some of the things they've purchased now, City.
Yeah.
I think they've hit on Reinders. Definitely hit Marmoush, obviously Haaland. I think the jury's still out for Cherky. I'm not sure about. He's young, so there's a bit of time.
It's too early. Yeah.
And then Gonzalez, I saw he was on the chopping block over the summer, so I don't know what they're going to do with him. But again, it just doesn't feel like the old Man City anymore.
Yeah, I agree. It's just losing De Bruyne. Look, losing that huge spine, that Roger being injured. Gundogan, when he aged, he's like 34, 35. You can't. It's very hard to replace him and De Bruyne as well. So once you lose that spine, it's very hard to replace. Like you can't just get all these gap fillers to come in and try and hope for the best.
He had some great years at City, one of the best right backs around. Now he's kind of faded off, but
of course, it's hard to replace Rick. It is big time. Well, like what about Tottenham? What are we thinking of them? 2 off the chart.
I got to give big credit to them because Frank's been here for two games with 2 wins. Amaron's been here for 29 games and he's got 28 points. So it kind of tells you don't. Yes, you need time. I do agree, but you can see how quick things can adapt with the right coach. And I'm not saying Frank's an elite coach. He's a really good coach. He's smart. He tends to trust data quite well. He can relate to players. He seems like a nice guy, very sensible. There's not really anything outlandish he's ever said in interviews. He's quite complimentary of other teams and respectful, but at the same time, he knows how to set up his team for match day. I think their transfer business, Kudos is good. They haven't really done much beyond Kudos from memory, minus the loans activated this year from last year. Sorry. So the jury's still out there, but at the end of the day, he's making it work at the moment. He's getting a tune out of Richarlison, which is almost impossible. So he's so far looks okay, but it's very early, very, very early. I've seen the other teams do so well first 3, 4, 5 games, and all of a sudden they taper off. So it could be the start.
Yeah, I agree. I just realized I didn't have my Arsenal stadium background. I've been up in the clouds the whole time. Yeah, I just think even Kudus, like, it looks like he's enjoying playing football again, as opposed to when he was at West Ham. So, anyways, moving on, we had Bournemouth and Wolves the next game. Bournemouth won 1-0, early goal, Tavernier. Aside from that, it wasn't much in the game. And then once Gomez got the red card, that was it. There wasn't much coming back from that. Wolves are 0-2 now, so it's a bit not surprising, but I don't think they'll be doing that bad, to be honest, especially with Bournemouth. Bournemouth don't really have a back line at the moment. Semenyo is pretty much their main cog in coming the midfield, coming forward. So, and Kluivert hasn't been playing. He just came off the bench.
Okay.
So he's been injured. But aside from that, not much of a takeaway. Petrovic made a few good saves. He's been okay so far. Semenyo's been Semenyo. He's been the progressive guy. Didn't score this week, but he obviously is the danger man there. On the side of Wolves, what's happening there? I'm not sure what's going to. Yeah,
they've lost a lot of players. Look, they've lost some key players in the summer. Cunha's gone. What's his name? I can't pronounce his name. Ori.
The Nuri. Yeah, it's City.
Nuri. He went to City.
Yeah.
Those guys, believe it or not, were pretty good pieces going forward. Defending's not their kind of forte. But what things Wolves do is, I think they scout well. I think they purchase better than average. They tend to find players a lot of people want, and over time they make profits on. So it's a bit of a burn and churn sort of buy and churn sort of model, which is kind of Brighton-esque, but not. I think they're buying more established players than Brighton is. It's just I think they've got some great scouting out there and data teams. I don't know with Wolves. I don't see them. I don't think they're going to be top half team, but I definitely don't think they're going to be relegation candidates. I just think it's a bit of a stutter in that realm. I think first game against City they showed a lot of good signs. I mean, there was sometimes they didn't take their chances, like Strand Larson had a few chances. There's a few he didn't put away. And by the way, he's connected to Newcastle, so that the latest bid of 55 mil has been rejected. I think he's well on his way to Newcastle. So good. So
if Wolves lose him, they won't have time to get a striker.
Maybe they've got someone. I don't know.
Maybe.
They seem to. The thing with Wolves, they seem to be plucking players from not obscure leagues, but just players that have shown glimpses. They've got potential, and they go to Wolves and they show something. So I expect them to replace him, but I just don't know who's available at the moment.
It's a big one there. Next game, Rick, we have your team, Villa and Brentford.
Oh God, I was hoping to avoid this, but look, Dango Ouattara, he got one chance. We gave him one chance. It was a lofted ball that kind of split our defenders. Both. Mind you, there was no Konza, so we played two left-sided defenders.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Went straight through. Went on goal. Matty Cash tried to usher him towards the touchline. That didn't work. Obviously, didn't work. He had a shot which was saved well by Martinez. The rebound, unfortunately, just went back and forth, and he landed on it and just put it away.
Yeah.
Look, we didn't really lay a glove on him. I'm not the one to kind of panic at the moment. I'm more so thinking we do need a couple of signings. We may have some hangover from last season because we haven't played well, if you kind of look at it this way, since Man United. Last game we played dreadful against Newcastle. We were very, very lackluster, and yesterday, over the weekend, it wasn't the greatest showing either. And the question I have, and I'm going to kind of go a bit deep here, is Emery's surprised me with some of his kind of selections. He's played the same 11 against Newcastle, which didn't work, against Brentford. And that means playing McGinn on the wing with Rodgers there as well, and Tillman's a bit more advanced. That can work, and maybe parts of it worked last season, but it just looks stale. We've got there's no width, there's no pace in the wings.
Pace is a big one.
We've got a left back Digne who looks like he's 32, definitely looks like he's 32. Ings looks like he's 30. Mings looks like he's 32. They're kind of showing their age of what I'm implying. So I don't expect us to be quiet in the next few days. There are some murmurs who we're linked with, and it keeps popping up. Asensio, we do need someone like that in the middle, and he connected quite well with Rodgers last year. In the middle of the park. But yes, the games, the results so far haven't been friendly to us, and even the performance are 20 times worse. We haven't been threatening at all. Positive out of it, or one of, is Gasson came on. He looked like he had a bit about him. He beat his man a few times, but he only had a 10-minute cameo. It's not enough. I would have played him, Marlon, with Rodgers in the middle and Watkins up front. That's pretty dynamic in terms of attack, very aggressive. They're not typical wide men, but they're definitely capable of sort of beating their man and getting to the byline and causing a bit of havoc and opportunities. So, and again, my biggest question, our take of this is Morgan Rodgers. Is his head turned? I don't know. He just looks like he's going through the motions.
Yeah,
as in the whole team. The whole team is, but he looks like he's just not interested. So I'm not one of these people like Chuck who reckons he's going to have a stale year, because if his stale year is probably some other players' good year, Gordon. But at the same time, I know there's definitely a player in there that's going to explode in the right environment, which he already kind of has, but he's get better and better. But yeah, he just his body language, the way he sort of gets on the ball, his passing's a bit lackluster. He just doesn't. It looks like he's just going through the motion, just trotting around. So I'm expecting him to kind of turn it around. Emery's pretty good with their players. Like we've gone through these spells before where we've had a few losses or few bad results on the trot, and then we'll go on a 6-game winning streak or whatever, like a bit of a winning streak. So I expect him to turn it around with his coaching. But yeah, so far I'm not happy.
Not good. Rick Damsgaard looked like he was Zidane out there running straight through the midfield, dude. He had a lot of opportunities as well. Yeah, just very good. Looking back at, let's just talk about Watkins at the moment. No goals first 2 games, 5 shots, 1 on target. He's starved. He is starved. McGinn on the right side. I don't know why you guys are playing him on the right wing. There's no pace there. He's a midfielder through and through in the middle. Just going by how you guys made them look like they were much better than what they are. Brentford's not a good team. Yep. Early season blunder. Look, you guys are still trying to figure it out. I guess, like you said, from last year since Man United, you just haven't been the same sort of team. You've lost key players, Asensio, Rashford. Trying to find your feet. Again, Morgan Rodgers is a top player. I agree as well. He needs some time. And there's obviously all these things going in his head. Is he going to Chelsea? Is he coming to Arsenal now, apparently? Tottenham. But look, I have faith in, as a non-Villa fan, I have faith in you guys. I think you guys will pick up points in the next few weeks. Yeah. You guys got a solid team. Martinez, I don't know what's going on there, whether you guys are retaining him or not. Obviously, he's going to be staying. Man United haven't made any sort of progression there. But I do like Bizot as well. You got Bizot already. Just looking at their team, Brentford, I was going to also comment, I hate watching Brentford games because the camera's basically at hip level. It's the worst game to watch. I try to watch the game, struggle to watch it. Aside from that, you guys just look very stale coming through the middle. What's there to change? Bundia had to come on. Wendy came on early on.
And he came off.
Yeah, and then he came off as well. Bundia had a few cracks coming forward as well. It looked a bit lively, but just there's no potency there. I can't definitively say a player now. I'm just going by, it's only 2 games anyway, but a guy that's going to be like, okay, this guy's going to be your key man at the moment. Morgan Rodgers looks very stale. Watkins, just absolutely nothing coming out of that area. There's nothing there for me to say, okay, this guy's going to be good. And Pau Torres, man, the slowest player, the worst turning circle in the comp. Yeah. Dude, that goal, Asura, when he came through around him, dude, he was running negative kilometers. It was like minus 1 kilometer now. It went backwards, dude. Yeah. So that, again, it's showing your back line is the issue. Look, your goals will come. They're going to come. Watkins is shown that he can score 15, 16, 17 goals a year. Morgan Rodgers can score 8 to 10. That will come eventually. Your back line, again, has been absolutely dismal. That Torres is... He needs to go, dude. He's not a good backup. You signed him to be a starter as well, and he just does not bode well for the EPL. Do you have any? Do you have anyone linked to any other centre backs or no?
Just that French kid that we're trying to buy, the 18-year-old that's highly rated, that we don't want to spend the money on. But the problem, look, I think half the battle is also a lot of our players are in limbo. Like, Martinez has been linked in and out every single week over the window, and there's talk he wants to go. Watkins has been linked to every single man and his dog. Morgan Rogers head term. We've just sold Ramsey. There's a lot of unrest. We've just signed new players. We re-upped contracts. We can't spend, so it's a very tough predicament to be in. But I do expect us to turn it around, especially if we beat Palace this week. And if Emery starts the same 11 this week, I'm convinced he's trying to sabotage our season and give some message to the owners. But I don't believe that, because the owners are right behind Emery. They'll do whatever he says. So I don't know if it's that. But if he does start the same 11, I would seriously question what the hell he's doing, because that 11 does not work.
Yeah, it's obviously been proven that it doesn't work the last 2 games. So anyways, hopefully next week bodes different for you guys. On to the next one, Burnley and Sunderland. Man, Burnley gave it to them.
They did. I was surprised. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, neither. So I was watching the game. The first 12 or 15 minutes or so, Sunderland had a fair few chances they could have scored. Yeah. And then Jaden Anthony and Cullen, the captain, those two together absolutely killed Sunderland. They both set up each other's goals, through balls. Jaden Anthony's scoring goals from the left side, cutting into the right. Like they actually, Burnley looked okay considering everyone ridden them off, and Sunderland was this new big team that's coming through. They've signed everyone. But Sunderland looked good for about 10 to 15 minutes of the game, and then after that just completely dipped.
I think over the course of the season, Sunderland have more than Burnley to kind of outlast them.
Yeah.
In terms of a survival sort of, it could be, again, it's game 2. Teams are still working themselves out. It's the last week before the window. Who knows what players have been told in terms of coming and going. So I kind of wait for the window to pass, give it a few more weeks after that, and then I'll start making a few more firmer judgments, like maybe week 5 or 6, or maybe even after the international break, which is not too far away. You can start making a few more assessments on teams.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there was. You know what? It was an entertaining game as well. But yeah, that tandem between the captain and Jaden Anthony, they look pretty good, and I think won't be surprised the next coming games how well they'll do, because like Cullen was looked like another player that looked like Zidane on the weekend, passing the through balls. Jaden Anthony's running onto it. Even you know what, Sunderland may end up missed a sitter at the start, the first couple of minutes, I believe. Look, that will happen. And then I've got full confidence that they'll come back and do well. They've got a decent team there.
Yeah. So, I know Hannibal played well. Apparently, he's one of the standout players.
He did, yeah. He did. He gave a couple of good balls on the right there.
It looks like a good purchase for them. But yeah,
he's their level.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next game, Arsenal Leeds.
You take it away, big guy.
As expected, we're going to absolutely demolish Leeds. There was nothing there for me to cause any stress or anything, but there's a few takeaways. Look, our first couple of goals, still getting them from set pieces, bit of scrambling in the box. Timber played really well. That right side starting to connect well between him and Saka. He gave a good ball to Saka to score that goal on the right edge. Timber, that was probably Timber's best game he's played since we've had him. So, which is good signs to come. Look, I'm not going to overblast or over exaggerate how well we played considering his leads. But it's a good game to take away that build some confidence and form within our team. Gyökeres's goal, I'm so happy he scored a goal like that. Calafiori with the through ball, and he came from the side, took on 2-3 defenders, scored near post. Look, that's something that we needed, a striker that can actually do that. Not too flashy, but he's very powerful, runs hard, strong. He's hard to get the ball off. We need goals like that. And we haven't had someone to score like that in a long time, someone that can take the ball from the edge and take on defenders. Aside from that, we've got a couple of injuries. Odegaard, he's done his shoulder, had to be taken off. Saka's out for the next 4 to 6 weeks now with hamstring injury. So kind of losing key players there. So it'll be interesting to see how Arsenal go in the next month or so. We've got a big game coming up this weekend at Anfield. But considering all in all, that was a good performance. Overall good performance. Big takeaway. Our team's like these, like I said, these are the games we need to start building together. Like the team and Dowman coming on as well, taking on defenders. He looked great. Didn't look 15 years old. He looked 25, 16. He looked 16. Mosquera came on. Everyone came on. So another key takeaway. When Saka was injured, Madueke came and played on the right side. He actually looked really good in his natural position. So I'm a little bit confident in saying that we've got cover for Saka being injured. Madueke did look really well in that position. Not that he's going to cover his what he brings to the team, but at least we got someone there to play.
Yeah.
Lewis Kelly coming on as well. Got another young guy coming through. He's played a couple of games, started a couple of games last year. He looks really good. Our backline, Calafiori and Timber, our fullbacks look really good.
Yeah.
Key takeaway as well. Another one, Eze coming in next week, hopefully to cover for Odegaard. We're trying to turf Kivor now to, I believe, Porto. Yeah, it was Porto. So hopefully we'll probably get our money back there. Don't really need him at the moment. Mosquera coming through. Declan Rice looked really good. Defended well, set up a couple of through balls. He was probably our best midfielder, aside from Zubimendi. Zubimendi actually played really well too.
Yeah,
everyone played well. But yeah, they're exciting. Raya made a good save with, I think Pascal Struik had the header at the start. He had a good save. Look, David Raya, say how it is. Like, he is a small goalkeeper, but he does make big saves. So he's been good. I'm not gonna. Our team was faultless on the weekend. But yeah, it's Leeds. I'm not gonna be jumping for joy too much. If it was against a team like Liverpool or City, then different story. But yeah,
you won't have this happens against those teams. My God, that'll be uproar. But
yeah,
it is. You just said it. I think Leeds was a great confidence booster to get your season started in inverted commas and get Gyökeres on the score sheet. Gyökeres, what people don't realize is, who haven't watched him, he is lumpy, he is clunky, he's very strong. He will take on defenders, he'll fend off defenders, but that's his game. He's a strong man. So don't expect anything flamboyant or flashy. He's a no frills type of forward that, is a bit of a block. He'll hold the front down, hold the foot down, connect play, make his own shots, barge his way through the box. That's his style, and it worked for him so far. So, like I said, I think you pretty much summoned everything. I just wanted to touch on Max Dowman. I'm very impressed by him. I really like him. I think he should start. I think he'll get a lot more game time this year. He's probably one of the standout kids so far I've seen, for the past 6 months. Probably one of the best ones I've seen recently. Minus Yamal and all that. Obviously the main stars in Spain. I'm saying within the EPL so far, he's really caught my eye.
Yeah, he's been really good. He's been training with us since he was 14. He couldn't play last year, obviously, because of the rule. It has to be 15 and above or whatever. But he's been training with the senior team for a while, so he's obviously got the tangible, for good reason. He's got the potential and tangibles there. So, over to the next game, Rick. Palace and Forest, 1-1 draw. What's our take there?
Typical Forest result. Grind, hold them back. I think. From my understanding, the game itself wasn't a tight. It was more of a. It was a very tight affair, from what I've read. I've only seen the 9-minute highlights. So I'm only seeing the key aspects of it. But I've read about the game. It was a very well. It was a bit of a tactical chess match. It looked like the teams held each other at bay. There wasn't anything that was too tilt-wise in terms of this team dominated, predominantly, and over the course of the game. I think it was fairly evenly matched. But at the end of the day, I think it was a typical Nottingham Forest result where they've kind of nullified the opponent, held them at bay, sat back, countered, pushed forward. So again, 1-1. That's again very, very typical Forest.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have much to say aside from the fact that there's their first game played without Eze, Palace. So 1-1 draw against Forest is a pretty good take for them at the moment, just going through the transition phase. And at the moment, I've read this morning they signed Yeremy Pino from La Liga, so he's the replacement for Eze. So it'll be very interesting to see how he goes in this squad. It's actually a good buy to cover that up. So
30 mil.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem much.
Yeah. So that'll be a good cover. I think he'll do the job there. Just going by how he's played in the past, and he's a big for our Football Manager fans out there. He's actually one of the star players the last 4 or 5 years of the common player of who gets signed in Football Manager. So knowing him, he'll get the job done. Obviously, it's Palace level. Like if he can produce 6, 7, 8 goals a year and 6, 7 assists, like what Eze produces, they'll still be a mid-table side. But other than that, good signing. Not much to comment on the game. Was a bit boring. The Forest keeper was tested a couple of times, but then again, it was surprisingly Forest did have a lot of possession. They're not known to have possession in these games, so 1-1 draw. Nothing really much to comment on there.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
On to the next game, Everton and Brighton. First game at the new Goodison Park, essentially. They actually played very well. Everton, with your boy Grealish coming through, Rick. He looked very good connecting the midfield to the attack.
I'm telling you, and we have this debate with Chuck, who just thinks it's just Brighton, but I think Grealish in the right environment, letting him take the shackles off, letting him be flamboyant, is the best you're going to get out of Jack. He just didn't sit. I don't think he fitted Pep's system. I didn't know why he bought him in the first place, but I understood why. You can't understand why he was running right with us at the time with Villa. And again,
it was a statement signing.
Don't look at goals and assists, because his influence on the game with us, especially before he left, was huge. Without Grealish, we wouldn't have won half those games. He causes so much trouble down the left and right when we switched him. But he showed glimpses of his old self. I like what he did. I like what he says. I liked his version of Grealish. I hope he sticks his way and stays out of trouble, because he looks like he lost his way in City and went a bit aloof and caught himself in a couple of tangles. But if he stays out of trouble and Moyes lets him off the shackles, I think he's going to have a huge season. I think the skill's there, the talent's always going to be there. It's just up here for Drac.
Yeah, and the system as well. Obviously, it's very hard to crack the City system, especially like a player like him. He needs the ball at his feet.
He does.
He's not a system player. That left side's looking really good. Him and Michael Garner as well. Sorry, not Michael Garner, James Garner. I've got Michael in my head. That's a good side. Yeah, he looks really good, man. Really promising there. Look, Everton, I called at the start of the season. I believe they're upper mid-table side, especially now with Grealish in the helm. They've got a bit more creativity and flair at the moment. So, we just need to see how they go. And aside from Brighton, look, they actually had a lot of opportunities to score. I think their XG was like 2.5 goals or something. Obviously, typical. Typical. They're very deadly going forward, but tracking back, they're a bit of an issue. So that's just the way it is. On to the next game, Ricardo. We've got Fulham and Man United. Fuck. There's so much to say about Man United. I read a stat as well. Kuna, he had 7 shots, like couple on target, 0 goals. That's just a testament and just shows how Man United. He's by himself. He's not an out-and-out striker. It's kind of Manchester United. They can't score goals still. Why isn't Sesko not starting? They've paid 70-something mil for him. He's 22 years old. It's not like he's 18. You paid that amount of money to be starting your players. Why does he need time to... He needs fitness. These are the games he needs to play against Fulham, where half their stadium's filled out by the away fans. Like, this is not a high-pressure game, right? Yeah. So why are you not starting the star striker? You just... Like, it doesn't make any sense, right?
That 3-4-3 system, team sliced it up for breakfast. Like, I've seen him go through the middle. Amaron's adamant on it, and I think it's the only way he knows how to play. It's definitely not an EPL system. I can see what he's trying to do, and they have purchased well up front. It's just that middle of the park and defense is diabolical. I don't rate it one bit. I think they should have started Sesko at the top of the tree with Cunha and Buemo supporting him. That keeper situation that needs to be addressed ASAP. That is not good at all. They did have their chances, and Fernandez did miss a pen. Fair enough. That happens, and usually it puts them away. But Fulham also had their chances. So it wasn't a lopsided match at all. And they're the type of games Man United need to win, especially with what this money they've spent and not sold anyone, mind you. So that's a bit of a key thing. And Arsenal haven't sold one either. But anyways, I'm just saying, like, as in, they spent a lot. They need to get returns for that. And I think they were haunted by the fact that their midfield still needs to be addressed. Ugarte, Casemiro, these guys, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're doing with them. Their backs, Yoro. Who else they played? Who else in the middle?
Delete was okay. He's okay.
He's okay. But look, again, nothing.
Sure.
Nothing too strenuous in terms of. Nothing too exciting to report on it. Just like I said, I expected a bit more from Man United.
Yeah, look. When you're playing Bruno that deep, he's not a deep player, and he's more of an attacking option, right? Bringing the ball in from the midfield, releasing it to the attackers. Embuemo, also another one. 0 goals, 5 shots. They've had about 13, 14 shots between the two new signings. They can't score. They need that striker to be starting, like I said, what we've been saying. Going to their back line, Luke Shaw, injury prone. He's coming back as always. He's slow, very robotic, not good. Delit's the only decent centre back there. He's always been touted as one of, even growing up, he's one of the good solid players. He's always been solid in my eyes. And also on the other side, Lenny Yoro, still very young. Look, he's tall, like nothing special there, right? And they're obviously the Turkish keepers, absolute diabolical. But in saying that, they relied on an own goal from Fulham to grab the points. You can't. That's not an indication of a good team. You can't be doing that. And they just look so thin. Their spine is so thin. And to touch point of what you said about the formation, it doesn't work anymore. It's not an EPL formation. They're going to get absolutely skinned in the midfield, and they don't have a quick enough midfield to cover that. Fernandez is slow. Casemiro is slow. Ugarte, forget about him. They've got no one in the middle. They've got Maino on the bench. Why they're not playing him? Who else they didn't have in the bench? They bring in like Dalot. Dalot is, I don't rate him, but I think he's better than what they have already starting, like Shaw and Yoro and all those guys. Like you're playing 3 at the back. You don't have quick enough defenders covering that as well. They're very robotic and slow, flat-footed as well.
I'll give you a bit of trivia. When was the last team that played 3-4-3 win the comp? I don't know any, but I'm just saying.
The last team, geez, that would have been in the 2000s.
Maybe Chelsea. I don't even know, but I'm just thinking about it now. I don't know anyone that's won a comp in England 3-4-3.
Mourinho's team, Mourinho's old teams.
Yeah, maybe them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it's something to search up after. But I can add that on the video too.
Yeah.
So, Sesko came on 50th minute.
Yeah.
40 minutes. Didn't really do much. Didn't really get involved. Look, he doesn't look comfortable. There's no one servicing him. He needs to start. He needs to be the big man at the front. So there's not much of an improvement there that I've seen. Amorim's 29 points in 28 games or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's relegation territory.
Yeah.
That's relegation. You're not staying afloat with that. At the moment, look, the start of the season, I did say they were able to be top 6, top 7 because considering they're no European obligations. But at the moment, man, they look like the United of old the last few years.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Nah, at all.
Newcastle
and Liverpool, big game. Do you want to touch first, or do you want me to go?
Yeah. I got it. Look, I'll give a shout out to Newcastle. I thought they played, even though they lost, I thought they were the team of the round in terms of the way they played. I thought they played really well.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very high tempo, high press, high energy sort of type of game. Obviously, there was a lot of sting in it because of Isak. Clearly, that sort of drove a lot of the way their sort of game was played out. Yes, they started Gordon up front. I would have started with Salah or whatever you pronounce it. Sorry. I would start him and put Gordon on the flank with Elanga. It was Elanga that actually put in a couple of decent balls to cause a bit of havoc. It's just no one was there to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree with some of the comments that, even though I do think they're the team around, they are a very physical, clunky team. A lot of long balls. They're not really a flamboyant side, but it gets the job done. So a lot of people criticize them about their style of play, which I can understand. They're not easy on the eye sometimes. I mean, with Isak there, he's easy on the eye, but the rest of them are a bit more pump it forward, get a flick on. They'll set pieces from halfway. Kieran Trippier doing these ones or these ones, whatever they got, and you have Dan Burn and Shah kind of alternate with setting screens for each other in the box. They do all that sort of stuff. You watch Tonali, you drop his shoulder on every midfielder coming in as a bit of a nudge. Bruno's Bruno. He's like a British bulldog who will kind of hunt you down. And Joel Linton, I'm not going to even go there. That guy should not be playing soccer, or football. Sorry, but I think they did themselves proud with that performance. I know Chuck's upset. He said it ruined his holiday, but I don't think I'll look at it that way. I look at it more so they suffocated the champions elect or the champions for previous year. I think from the get-go, they pushed them. They really, really tried to suffocate them. And Liverpool did struggle. I think Newcastle were the better team. They at least deserved the draw. And even down to 10 men, they showed a lot of resilience to come back and, claw it back from 2-0 to 2-2. So a lot of credits to go to them.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, irrespective of their playing style, I think the resilience, the heart, and the hunger they showed really, really speaks volumes about them. But for the rest of the season, can they carry this on? I don't know, because it's a very, very high tempo, grueling kind of style of play, and it's always been a bit of their not Achilles heel, but a bit of a conundrum for them. Where can they sustain this level of intensity for the rest of the year? They've got a bit more depth. However, they have lost Tonali. It looks like so Tonali's gone. Obviously, they've got no striker. Joelinton's down for the count for a hamstring or a knee. I can't remember what it was.
Gordon suspended
for 3 games. I think it's 3 games because of a malicious intent. Because the double knee drop is not really it's not really a good thing to do. Yeah. Which was silly. That screwed him up.
What a bonehead.
That was a really, really bad play. But again, at the same time, there was an instance where Kanate pushed Barnes down. But again, last week, Gordon dropped against us like a bag of feathers. When Konza pulled him down. So they called that. They didn't call this. I was angry at Gordon last week, but I can understand why they called it. They should have probably called this one. So they're a bit unlucky there, Newcastle. But that's Liverpool for you. They're down for the count. They're on the ropes, but they won. And again, against 10 men, it's not a lot to gloat about, but that's a very hostile environment, almost Galatasaray-esque in terms of the cauldron of sort of, it was so loud you could see it. They were right behind
extra defender,
And the emotions were, really, really pushing things. What I would say about the game is a lot of people were saying, oh, if we had Isak, we would have put them away. Maybe, potentially, good chance. But don't forget the fact that the Isak trauma or the Isak case happened amplified this. So that's why probably it brought out a lot more out of it. So without that sort of scenario, maybe it would have been a bit more of a subtle game. Even though there's always a bit of spite between them, I don't necessarily 100% agree that Newcastle would have been this ferocious in their attempt to sort of push Liverpool around. Not to say they wouldn't win. It's just I don't think it's a guaranteed win that they would have said, oh, we had Isak, we put him away. I saw a few things from Newcastle wasn't too sure about. Like there was a lot of long balls. Livramento played well, I think. And I do think Joelinton put in a shift, so I've got to give credit to him there, even though I said he's not a football player. And then Tonali came off. So, again, Ramsey came on a bit late. He's still trying to adapt, I get it, so we can't really say much about him. But in typical Newcastle fashion, they're going to try and outmuscle you. They're going to try and get on the second ball from a flick on. They're going to try and suffocate you. It's a very, very Eddie Howe team that we saw over the week, the other day. It was very, very typical Eddie Howe's. But unfortunately, didn't come over the win. So, but again, kudos to them. I think they were the team of the round with their performance.
Look, you nailed the hammer on the head, dude. I agree with everything you just said. I was just going to add on to that. Why is every week now with the EPL, the stoppages, because the stoppages of the game, 11 minutes. I think Newcastle and Liverpool's like 10 or 11 minutes. Did you say that?
Shah went down. He had a head injury and they kind of at the corner.
But every game has been at least minimum 5-6 minutes, like how they had in the World Cup a couple of years ago. And that's what brought on the last minute goal with that 16-year-old Rio that scored for Liverpool.
Good goal.
It was a good goal. What the issue with that goal is he was open in the middle from 3/4 of halfway. He ran straight through the box. No one picked him up. Yeah. That was Newcastle's fault. So that's not a good good
10
sign.
10 men. Very hard.
No, that's true. That's true. But they've besides the point, this is sort of looking at from the whole EPL, not just this game. The stoppages that they're bringing in, these 9-10 minute stoppage time at the end of the game, it's too much now. And you're going to see a lot of these last minute goals potentially coming through. So it kind of kills teams. That killed Newcastle.
Yeah.
Like was it last week? Another game had like 9-minute stoppages. Even at halftime, they had 7 minutes. Like it becomes too much. And then that's going to add on to the fatigue of these players, and you're going to cause a lot of upsets with these unnecessary upsets of these games as well, which is a testament of what's happened at the Liverpool and Newcastle game. But besides the point, back to the game, look, that complete bonehead move from Gordon,
bad, very
absolutely
bad.
Unnecessary. You can't do that you're doing it to a centre back Van Dijk. He's coming from behind. You're never going to get to that.
Second red card in 10 games. It cost him.
Yeah,
and he's their main winger.
Yeah. He's been playing, obviously not been playing wing this whole time, but he's had like close to 10 shots, hasn't scored yet. He's put in a shift, but he hasn't scored yet.
Yeah.
A lot of shots on target. Big takeaway, like you said, Rick, Liverpool found the way to win as a big club. Only like if you're a big club, you want to be winning these games, these big, tough games. Their back line, Konate he's not good at all. I'm actually if I was a Liverpool supporter, I'd be stressed out about the back line. If you're going to be coming in against like City or Arsenal, even looking into Europe against PSG, that back line's going to get skinned. Like Canades has not been good at all. They've just been
Szoboszlai right back.
Exactly. That's a big thing.
Bad.
You're paying him at right back. That's what they were doing with Milner when Milner was like 35.
He's like a attacking mid or something, like a central.
That's what I mean. They're thin.
Big. That's bad.
That's not a good sign. Gravenberch's played pretty well. That's a good goal
when
too.
I saw that, they didn't take advantage of it. Harvey Bunch should have went at him time and time again, but they didn't. I think Szoboszlai did okay on the right. Come to think of it now, Szoboszlai did really well at the right back. He looked. I thought he looked like a duck out of water, a fish out of water sort of thing, but he actually did really well.
Rick, and Hugo Ekitike, I know you said last week he needs to put on a bit of beef, but he'd actually, what he did with Sonali as well, fended him off a couple of times, held the ball up well. He actually did okay in that regard.
Yeah, he's looking way better.
Way better. So I saw him throughout the game. He's held the ball up. He wasn't really getting pushed around, shoved around. He actually did well. That's a key takeaway for them. Ekitike has been A1 every game he's played. Yeah. So it's a big signing.
In the striker role, I'm telling you, playing him on the left wing would not do him any justice.
No, it won't. They didn't sign him to play in the left wing.
I know, but going back to the argument we had about him playing Isak, I think you're doing him a world of injustice because he's pretty good in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So he's been there shining light. Salah, look, he had a couple of balls in the middle.
See the Curtis Jones one that he put through for
Curtis Jones? One. That's what I was referring to. Curtis Jones should have scored that.
Yeah,
he should have scored that.
Should have. That's a goal.
See, having a player like Salah who can see things that other people can't see, that just changes the whole game, right? He doesn't even have to run. But that's something that he should have scored. That was right in front of goal as well. So, look, Liverpool going forward, front three and the mids looking very good and solid at the moment. Again, their back line is going to be causing issue. They've got one of the highest against in the comp. I think they've got like 4 or 5 goals. They're like top 3 in the goals scored. Yeah, so that's not a good start to the season, right? And then obviously if the season going forward is going to be close between Arsenal and Liverpool, which I'm assuming is going to be the top 2 teams, going by what's happened, the goals difference is going to be a big thing because we've got the strongest defense in the comp and they've got the worst defense in the comp, and we're going to be scoring goals against these little shitty teams. We're going to be scoring 3-4 goals, so that's going to be the markup of we might not score against. We might struggle in some games against these teams that high press us and put a lot of pressure on us. But against these teams that can't do that, we're going to be scoring a lot of goals. So looking at Liverpool, I just think Wirtz again still needs time. I can't write him off yet because he was the Bundesliga Player of the Year. Yeah. A couple of years ago, he was part of that Leverkusen squad that were really good. I can't say he's a flop, even though they spent 120 million on whatever it was on him. I can't call him a flop yet, but considering how much flack Arsenal copped with Gyökeres and he's half the price and he scored the double already, and for Wirtz has had 1 shot in the last 2 games, hasn't really gotten involved with any of the flow of the game. There needs to be questions asked in the next couple of weeks if it keeps prolonging. Yeah. But it is still very early, and I rate him as a player. I think he's a top player. He just needs a bit of time.
Yeah. I think definitely he'll come around. He has to. I mean, that Liverpool front line's just. There's so dynamic. Plus, they got Gravenberch, they got Szoboszlai. They got what's the other guy? The other central mids they got. I can't remember the top name.
They got Gakpo as well.
Gakpo. So there's plenty of firepower there. But that right back position, oh my God, I don't know where Frimpong is. He must be injured for a while. But my God, you cannot be playing a CAM or CM there. That was crazy. I thought he was going to get killed, but he didn't. He held his own surprisingly. And he actually prevented a couple of goals.
He did, but they were playing against 10 men.
Even before the 10 men, like Elanga put in a cross and Gordon was kind of running in on goal and Szoboszlai kind of shielded him, which is, I'm surprised he actually did that because normally, some of them, if you're not playing in position, you're kind of unaware of things. He was very aware.
You said with Harvey Barnes, if you had someone that's a bit more aggressive and more clinical, he would have skinned Szoboszlai.
If you had Gordon there and Lang on the right and like Salah in the middle, I think that would have been a lot more potent than what they put out because Gordon would have taken him on.
Well, Asula has to start now. He even scored as well, so you've got to start him. Well, exactly. I don't know why they wouldn't be starting him from the get-go. Gordon's, they would do a lot, like you said, fare a lot better if Gordon's on the left because he needs that free play on the wing. He's not a striker.
And they're creating chances against Liverpool, which I'm pretty sure Salah, which you even put one away, may have been on the end of 1 of 2, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and plus Bruno's goal in the set piece as well. Like they played better with 10 men. They did. They clawed back with the.
That's what I'm saying. I was really impressed with that, and that's what I'm saying. Their 2 goals came from set pieces. If you didn't realize, one was booted from half. Well, they're both booted from halfway. So
Sula was the tap from the corner. He scored the goal.
No, wasn't it.
Bruno's was the set piece.
Okay, sorry, but yeah, they're very dangerous. And like I said, I think Dan Burns put in an enormous shift. Even though I think he's one of these people that rides you like a camel. I think he's probably Liverpool's most vital. I know Isak's vital, but I think from a club representative, heart, captain material, he's up there. He has to be for them.
Yeah, and Ramsey came on for, I believe, Joelinton. He only had like 15 minutes of play.
He'll come good. He'll be all right.
Thank you guys for listening. Please like and subscribe on our socials. Until next time. Peace.